Hello friends, Jay here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of DotaAlchemy.com, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how I think you should win the laning phase in 7.20b. So first and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about how the laning phase used to be won, because of course, naturally, this is going to be relevant since people are going to be following this formula for quite some time and slowly working into the new meta, because this is what happens every single time there's a patch. The way that you used to win the lane was by slowly, methodically balancing between harassing your opponents and hitting creeps and denying as well. And in that meta, the last hits weren't even about the gold necessarily. They were about not getting denied yourself. Like the entire laning phase was dictated by denies. You would kill your opponents, sure, but you wouldn't necessarily win the lane from killing your opponents. Sometimes, in fact, you would lose the lane from killing your opponents because your opponents would come back with more regen and be able to essentially just harass you out. The end goal of the laning phase was essentially to get the lanes to a point where enemies couldn't step up to the creep wave or they would die. You wouldn't even want to kill them. You'd just sit between the creep wave and them, zoning your opponents, forcing them to go jungle, which is why we saw a lot of carries at the end of that meta just go jungle before they even died. And then the jungle was like really, really weak, so that was a good state to have the lane in for you. So what's different now? Before, the calculation for experience in the early levels did not favor kills at all. If you got a kill in the early levels in the lanes, you'd basically get a base experience bounty plus 15 times the dying hero's level, plus a comeback experience multiplier. So because the lanes were usually very close in terms of experience between the teams, the comeback multiplier, it doesn't even matter here. So basically you got an XP bounty, base XP bounty, and that was pretty negligible. It was like 15 experience, and then plus 15 times the dying hero level. And that means if you killed a hero that's level 5 in the lane, you'd only get 90 experience if it's split between two people. 90 experience. Less than half of the experience required to get level 2 from level 1 for killing a level 5 hero. In other words, kills did not matter in the lanes one bit in terms of experience, and experience matters a lot. Now, the experience calculation is as follows. 40 experience plus 14% of the dying hero's current experience divided by the number of people that killed them. So you split it evenly. It's much more simple now. That means that if you kill a level 5 hero with 2 heroes, you both get about 275 experience, which means that 1 kill in this meta's laning stage equals 3 in the previous one in terms of experience. And this calculation doesn't even include the fact that if you solo kill a level 5 hero like that, you get double the experience. Like I said, it's simplified. It's literally just split evenly between everybody that's there. So you get 550 experience for a solo kill on a level 5 hero, which happens all the time in lanes, because what'll happen is you trade, your support dies, and then you pick up a kill on a core, and then boom, your core now has an entire level advantage on the lane. It's actually crazy. It's also worth noting that the comeback multiplier has been removed entirely from the calculation, meaning that if you get behind as a team, you can't just kill somebody on the enemy team and get a bunch of free experience. Now, what does that mean? How does this actually change the lanes dramatically? This means that we are now in a kill lane and a snowball meta, which is why Sand King is such a strong hero, and we see his win rate skyrocketing, even though the changes to him are not the biggest compared to a lot of the other heroes that got changed. Games should end early, and they have been ending early from what I've seen, very, very quickly. Denies and last hits don't matter as much, because if you get denied all game and you kill your laning opponent, you basically get all of the experience that you've been getting denied and more. Then with your levels, you can kill them again, and if they ever kill your squishy supports, they're not going to get free gold from the fact that you're snowballing. Like before, you would get huge on a core, they would kill your supports, their cores would get huge in terms of experience because the supports gave that comeback bounty as well. But the comeback multiplier has been removed. So essentially, what heroes are going to be strong in this meta then? Kill combos like Ogre plus Leshrac, Lich plus Axe, Grimstroke plus Brewmaster, as we can see in this replay. Shadow Shaman plus Sand King is very strong, and these other combos that I mentioned are going to be amazing. It's also important to pick heroes that can take a lead in the laning phase and become unkillable and snowball with levels, because your opponents will only be able to come back in terms of experience if the snowballing core dies. So, the combos that I listed work perfectly for this as well, because Axe, Leshrac, Brew, and Sand King are all great snowballing cores. So if you want to win pubs, what do? You want to pick heroes that are focused on getting kills. None of this Warlock or Anti-Mage bullshit. Yes, those heroes got buffed. Yes, those heroes are probably good in another meta. They're better than they were. But it doesn't matter because they don't kill heroes in the lane. So the game will be over before they even have a chance to come back. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I do genuinely appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video.